footage of Bieber, Odell Beckham, and Trey songs.
Yes.
Like, and Trey's like literally sitting there playing Lookout.
Playing Lookout as Justin Bieber goes down on Odell.
And young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills. Bashir Gray.
Jaguar Wright just spilled all the beans about Justin Bieber in a recent interview with Storm Monroe. She went deep into the details about how Diddy didn't just stop at using Justin for his own desires. Allegedly, he also introduced him to his buddies and let them have their way with the young Justin. Bieber's been making headlines lately, especially after the police raided Diddy's homes, and some disturbing videos of him surfaced online. This sparked fresh discussions about Diddy's peculiar relationship with Justin. What's even more troubling, according to Jaguar, is that Diddy allegedly did the same with many other rising male artists in the business, including Meek Mill. Meek Mill went on a Twitter rampage a few weeks back, desperately trying to debunk the rumors that he was Diddy's toy boy. However, it seems like those rumors might have had some truth to them after all. So, did Diddy really pass Justin around in the industry? And just how many other young men fell victim to his actions? These are the questions swirling around now.
Hey, young brother, everything's good? That's selling out arenas and everything? It's starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out. Well,
So Justin Bieber started making waves around this time last year, when Cassie's lawsuit hit the scene. That lawsuit opened up a can of worms, revealing some shady stuff about Diddy. At first, people thought maybe they were blowing things out of proportion. But with all the dirt that's come out since then, you can't help but wonder if there was something seriously off about Justin's time with Diddy. Jaguar Wright had a whole lot to say about it in her recent chat with Storm Monroe. She brought up that disturbing footage of Justin hanging out with Odell Beckham and Trey Songz, where it looks like Justin might be, well, engaging in some questionable behavior. Some fans tried to brush it off as Justin just indulging in some Coca-Cola. But that's messed up in its own right because, let's face it, these are grown men leading a young brother down a dangerous path. But according to Jaguar, it wasn't just innocent fun. She claims Justin was doing to Odell exactly what everyone suspected all along. And if you take a good look at Justin's mouth at the end of that video, well, it pretty much confirms it. It looks like Justin may not have been doing it willingly because, according to Jaguar, Trey Songz was there as a lookout so nobody would catch on to what Odell was doing to Justin, and probably to avoid paparazzi getting a recording of the act.
And then I think about that really disturbing footage of Bieber, Odell Beckham, and Trey songs.
Yes.
Like, and Trey's like literally sitting there playing Lookout.
Playing Lookout as Justin Bieber goes down on Odell.
The boy came up with his mouth wet.
Mouth wet.
What?
Dribbling. Now what they're gonna try to say is, no, Justin Bieber was just doing a line of coke. No, he didn't mess with his nose when he came up.
He doing a line of coke with his mouth.
He wiped his mouth. When you do
his mouth was wet.
You do this when you finish your line.
His
you wipe your mouth when you
wet. The post-nasal drip. That was seminal fluid.
It was Odell there.
It's a very disturbing situation. Jaguar then went into how Justin could have started down this route the moment he spent 48 hours with Diddy. The video of Diddy giving Justin Bieber a Lamborghini and a mansion has sparked debate. It was recorded during the alleged 48-horse session, but given the facts about Diddy that have come to light since then, I can't even watch that video without trembling at the possibility of what Justin might have gone through in the name of Diddy's mentorship. Did you know Diddy actually gifted Justin the Lamborghini? Indeed, he did. Just 2 minutes after receiving his driver's license, Justin was seen cruising around town in a Lamborghini that looked similar, the one Diddy promised him in the video. So, if Diddy didn't deliver it, that's a huge coincidence. But what we should all be asking is why Diddy would give a random youngster such an expensive gift for no reason at all. Many have suggested that Diddy simply acted like any other sugar daddy, giving his boy toy with luxurious presents in exchange for his companionship. Now, we've all seen the awful things Diddy is accused of doing to Cassie thanks to her lawsuit. And let's not forget about Lil Rod's claims. If the word on the street holds any truth, then it must have been 10 times worse for Justin. He was just a kid when it all began. Look at how bright and innocent he appeared in those early videos, then compare that to how he looked less than a decade later. It's clear they really messed him up. What's wild is how people are only now starting to notice the signs. I mean, just watch how uncomfortable Justin seems while talking to Diddy in that footage. He's stumbling over his words because Diddy has him on edge. Allegedly, Justin's team had been keeping him away from Diddy for a while because they believed Diddy was causing serious harm to Justin's mental and physical health. That would explain the tension between them when Diddy finally caught up with him, eager to resume their antics. And then there's that other footage of Diddy seemingly patting Justin down, checking for wires. Who knows what Diddy whispered in his ear? But Justin ended the meeting with an awkward, "love you." Here's another clue that slipped past many people. Justin's shift towards alcohol and substances seemed to coincide with his association with Diddy. During Diddy's 2014 pyro party, Justin was seen holding what looked like a bottle of aqua hydrate, which should contain a clear liquid. But if you zoom in on Justin's hand, you'll notice the liquid inside the bottle is a suspicious yellow color, possibly indicating alcohol or something else. Years later, Justin opened up about that period of his life, describing it as tough. He felt hurt, unhappy, confused, and angry, even angry at God. This reveals that he was truly struggling, despite appearances suggesting he was living his best life at the height of his career. Of course, Diddy wasn't the sole cause of Justin's problems. He entered the industry at a very young age and lacked proper guidance. He was manipulated and objectified in every imaginable way, often by adults ranging from fellow artists to interviewers and hosts. Everyone seemed to want a piece of sweet Justin Bieber, whether he was willing to give it up or not. Take Ellen DeGeneres, for instance. She blatantly showcased a revealing paparazzi shot of Justin on her show, and then proceeded to ask him some uncomfortable questions about it.
Bungalow.
Yeah.
And because usually we're all pretty good at spotting paparazzi.
Yeah.
They hide in boats and pretend to be fishermen,
Yeah.
and we're like,
Yeah.
you're paparazzi. I mean, we're pretty good at it. How did you not see that there was paparazzi there?
Well, I just didn't see them. I think I wasn't really looking out for them either, so.
Was there a boat? When you think back on it now, can you see where they may have been? Were they in a boat?
Yeah, they're definitely in a boat. Yeah.
And how quickly after that was shot did you realize that happened? Did that go on wire right away?
Yeah, it was pretty much like a couple days. It was like a couple days later, Scooter hit me. He was like, "Yo, I hate to tell you this, but."
In 2011, when Justin was 16, James Corden interviewed him for the 2011 Brit Awards, and he was just being a freak around him.
Can I say this? Lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. Like that was bad.
Yeah.
Wow, look at your eyes. What music are you listening to at the moment, Justin?
Just a year later, Justin was at the 2012 American Music Awards with Jenny McCarthy. And look at what she was doing. Mind you, Justin was only 18 years old, and Jenny was 40 years old, and he basically had to get her off himself. He was so uncomfortable that when he began to give his acceptance speech, he said, "Wow, I feel so violated right now."
Wow. I feel violated right now. Wow.
In another tape, an interviewer was questioning 15-year-old Justin about the conversation, and he even had to call them out on it because why are you asking a 15-year-old stranger that type of question?
Okay. So why don't you give me? I feel uncomfortable right now. Oh. Why do you want to know from a 15-year-old boy? That's pretty weird.
And here's Katy Perry simply feeling Justin up.
Who apparently wanted to know what a Bieber butt felt like.
Justin Bieber has undeniably encountered many challenges in the entertainment industry, and his ability to keep going during those difficult moments is extremely amazing. It's incredible that during these trials, the people who should have been supporting him, Usher and Diddy, seem to do the opposite. Imagine that. To give some context, Usher entered Justin's life almost immediately after Justin arrived in Atlanta with Scooter Braun. Justin was just 13 at the time. According to Justin's mother, Patty Mallett, she fervently prayed for her son to encounter trustworthy individuals in the industry who would treat him with respect. When Usher and Scooter Braun entered the picture, she believed they would be the answers to her prayers. Little did she know at the time that they would turn out to be quite the opposite. Usher took Justin under his wing as a mentor, even assigning his friend Ryan Good to serve as Justin's swagger coach and road manager. According to Patty, that's when she began to feel like she was losing control over her son. Justin was just a young boy from a humble background, and suddenly, he became one of the most famous people in the world, making more money than anyone in his family had ever dreamed of. Patty expressed that Justin needed someone to keep him grounded amidst all the fame and fortune, but unfortunately, she didn't have much access to him during his tours. As much as we tend to point fingers at the parents of child stars for exposing their children to the chaos of Hollywood, sometimes they're simply no match for the predators and manipulators in the industry. Fast forward a few years, and Usher had already introduced Justin to Diddy, marking the beginning of Justin's descent into darkness. If the rumors circulating are to be believed, Diddy wasted no time in manipulating Justin under the guise of mentorship, much like he did with Usher. We've all heard Diddy talk about how he had legal guardianship of Usher when he was producing his first album. But instead of fulfilling his duty as a guardian, he exposed Usher to the adult lifestyle. Usher himself has spoken about his time living with Diddy at the Puffy Flavor Camp.
I moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand?
According to Gene Deal, Usher's relationship with Diddy was far worse than most people realize. He even hinted that Usher might have endured similar experiences to Cassie's went through with Diddy. It apparently reached such a dire point that Usher ended up hospitalized. Gene Dale also mentioned Diddy's notorious scult, which allegedly roped in both Usher and Justin. The details he provided were deeply disturbing. Just take a look at this.
Puff and Usher did have a situation, and that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bro, you know I know. Let me reframe you on something. Remember Usher? We was at the Swiss Hotel. Puff had Kim in the room. Had one of Keith Sweat's baby mothers in the big room outside the master bedroom. He came outside in his robe. She gave him a right there. His back was turned to me. She gave him a. You knocked on the door. I came and opened the door for you. Puff went in the room. You came in the room and kissed that girl dead in the mouth. Now I'm telling that because you taking up for somebody that you know and a lot of more people know didn't do you right.
Gene further said that Usher may have formed a trauma bond with Diddy as a result of his experiences. It's possible, given Usher's history of covering for Diddy. Whenever Usher speaks about Diddy, he seems to carefully choose his words, as if he's wary of revealing too much. Let's revisit that Howard Stern interview for a moment. Usher has never directly addressed the rumors of his involvement with Diddy, but court documents from Lil Rod's lawsuit suggest otherwise. In the lawsuit, it was mentioned that Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones that he had engaged in intercourse with a rapper, R&B singer, and Stevie J. The identities of the redacted rapper and R&B singer were hinted at in the footnotes, describing them as a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj and performed at the Super Bowl, and an R&B singer who had a successful Vegas residency, respectively. Fans quickly connected the dots, speculating that Meek Mill was the rapper and Usher was the R&B singer. A Apart from Usher's mention of his wild experience at the Puffy Flavor Camp, even Diddy himself once slipped up and mentioned how he and Usher used to share a bed when Usher was just a child.
You fresh off a goddamn plane.
Fresh off the guard stage.
That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, damn, pause, but like, check out. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the frosted flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying?
Now, he tried to dismiss it as a dispute over Frosted Flakes while Kevin Hart attempted to move the subject away from it. But let's be honest, we heard what we heard. So it's strange that Usher is trying to cover for Diddy. However, it is easy to understand given the lasting impact that traumatic events can have on a person's mind. And it seems Usher isn't the only male artist affected by Diddy in this way. Meek Mill has also been making waves online, seemingly behaving erratically after being accused of being Diddy's boy toy. As you know, Meek Mill was mentioned in the Lil Rod lawsuit as the rapper who allegedly had intimate relations with Diddy. Jaguar Wright touched on Diddy in her recent interview with Storm Monroe, strongly suggesting that she believes he's been involved in such activities numerous times. She even labeled Meek as a power bottom.
Is it power bottom? I knew Meek was power bottoming.
Wow.
Well, he already done got the broke in. I just didn't know that that's why he was faking it with Nicki, so that he would have an excuse to be up underneath the diddler.
However, this is not the first time Jaguar has mentioned Meek Mill getting talked about in the industry. In an interview with Real Live Productions, she stated that Meek Mill might have been used by the Smiths when he approached them for mentorship.
They do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills, Bashir Gray, left that house screaming. August's the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
Is it really shocking that Will and Jada are tight with Diddy? I mean, if Meek Mill was indeed cozying up to Diddy, he could have easily been loaned out to the Smiths if they wanted some fresh company. And let's not forget, since the lawsuit started dropping on Diddy, old photos and videos of Meek Mill have been popping up everywhere, sparking a ton of questions. Take, for instance, this snapshot of Meek Mill and Diddy wearing matching PJs, like they were having a slumber party or something. Then there's that viral clip of Diddy referring to Meek Mill as daddy, because, you know, two grown men calling each other daddy is totally normal. And if that's not enough, check out how quickly Diddy snaps his head around in a club when Meek Mill starts spitting some lines. Diddy was up there looking like he was having flashbacks or something. Now Meek Mill has tried very hard to prove he likes women and he's not gay. I mean, he spent 7 days and 7 nights on Twitter trying to convince everyone of how much he liked women. In one tweet he said, "When I got a girl around me, I'm effing her twice a day, LOL. Ass like some of your favorites. P don't control me, but it's like a high. One love to the gay people, but that juicy P do it for me. I done ran red lights to get that feeling. Y'all weird on here like devil's LOL." Then he added, "Y'all see these rappers with gay styles? They want that look. Leave that to them. I come from that gangsta, surviving in the jungle." He even blamed the media for trying to bring him down and stop his new release from trending. The two things they say, we snitching or we gay. We generating hundreds of millions from music. It's not a coincidence we all gay and snitches. They are powering this stuff, even if it's fake. The goal is to disrupt the hip-hop community. I own this music that dropped tomorrow. Play it. But you know, the one thing he didn't deny was being Diddy's boy toy. Anyway, sources are now suggesting that Justin might have formed a trauma bond with Diddy because, despite everything, he still publicly expresses love for him. Justin even found time to collaborate with Diddy, even though Diddy, practically retired from the music scene, sold his entire music catalog for $200 million last year. Yet, somehow, Justin ended up contributing to Diddy's Love album on a track called Moments. In his announcement post, Justin reminisced, I remember pitching a song to my brother Diddy when I was like 14, but sadly, it was trash and got a hard no. Fast forward to a few years ago, Puff asked if I could freestyle something for his upcoming Love album. Wild full circle moment. Love you, Diddy. Is that weird or what? And you want to know what's even creepier? There's a video circulating online showing Justin at a party with Diddy and The Game, being given drinks. It's unclear what the drinks were exactly, but there's speculation they might have been spiked, especially considering Justin was allegedly passed around by Diddy and his friends at that party. I can't even imagine what must have been running through his head at that party. Like Usher, Justin hasn't spoken about his time with Diddy. However, he did produce a documentary shedding light on his past experiences, and watching it is truly heartbreaking. Nevertheless, a source close to Justin reveals he's willing to address his relationship with Diddy if it aids the ongoing investigation. Justin isn't eager to publicly discuss his ties with Diddy, but he might have to, the source reveals. I'm not certain if Diddy crossed any lines, but Justin isn't disclosing. If Justin must confront his past encounters with Diddy, he will. Jaguar Wright has been vocal about Diddy's unsettling behavior for years, and it appears that many are now inclined to believe her. Fans have flooded online platforms with comments regarding the situation. One user expressed concern for Justin, saying, "I'm concerned for Justin, and I hope that he can get through this. He was clearly a victim, and he does not appear to be as strong as Cassie." Another person urged all victims to speak out against Diddy, rallying behind Justin for strength. Justin and all the victims need to call out Diddy. Justin, we stand behind you with no judgment. You are a victim. Be strong, stand up against Diddy, and lead the others to come forward. Now, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on Jaguar Wright spilling this tea about Diddy and Justin Bieber. Drop your comments below and we'll catch you in the next video.